What's happening, everybody, and welcome to the episode 83 of the Good Kraken podcast. I am an absolute fucking disaster this morning. I am one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside the 5-star man, Devin Stanford.
What about his 10-finger plan?
I don't have a 10-finger plan.
He has
Ernell's
a 10-finger
lying.
plan. I don't. I spaced the 10-finger plan. He's never liked the 10-finger plan thing from the
It sounds
he's never been about it.
It does sound
It
really
sounds creepy because you're applying
you
the creepy context. You know,
said it once, and I was like, yeah.
there's nothing creepy about a 10-finger plan. Usually, I got 10 steps.
Jenesy thinks it's creepy.
What about the 10-step
Sierra
plan?
thinks it's creepy. I'm sure Chase thinks it's creepy. I'm sure Esco thinks it's creepy. Devin 5-star questionable. To be fair, I didn't give that nickname to myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Ernell gave that
I'll fight
nickname.
a bitch. He is the 5-star man.
He is the
Devin,
5-star man.
Stop thinking lowly of yourself.
But the 10-finger plan part is creepy.
But
That is the
doing
general
some
consensus.
sort of plan. Like,
Because-
you can't be the 5-star man without a plan.
Here's the deal. My giving you the 10-finger plan thing was not about like, ooh, money grabbing or like some bullshit like that. It is literally it's like, okay, step 1, 1 finger. Step 2, 2 finger. You have the 10-finger plan. You have 10 steps.
That would be a 10-step
10
plan.
step,
So,
okay?
Devin, are you out here making 10-step plans? Because that doesn't really seem on brand for you.
I'm not. Let's be real.
So
Okay,
maybe
all right,
like
that's
a 2-bong plan. You know?
We'll
Or
come up with
something.
more. He's the
Something
5-star
else.
man. That's all people need to know. You know what I'm saying? The other voice and face you guys are seeing and hearing is the queen of bitchin' herself, Jenesy Gabrielle. How are you doing, my love?
I am depressed and caffeinated. How are you?
I am depressed and getting caffeinated. I'll tell you that. I'm working on it.
We're doing great. Everything's a disaster here.
Oh my god. Let's go in chat. Says Devin lost 1 star with the banana sandwich.
Honestly, like the fact that it was in a hot dog bun wasn't great. But other than that, it was really good. So
The fact that it was in a hot dog bun.
that was an excellent.
It's still white bread.
What if you put it in
the
no?
same thing.
You know how Hawaiian rolls make those like sub rolls now? What if you put it in one of those? It would look a little bit less dickish.
It just
maybe.
looks bad because it's a full ass banana and a hot dog.
It looks sexual, like it looks bad.
It's literally PB and J.
I don't know
with a
why.
banana.
I don't know why it's worse than putting a hot dog in a bun because the shapes aren't that different, but it's worse.
Esco in chat also says, Jenesy, you look beautiful today. Is that new lipstick?
Thank you. It is not new. I've had it for like 3 years, but it is a Star Wars cover girl situation that my mom gave me, and I'm obsessed with it. So thank you for recognizing.
Yes, of course. Esco's good to us. Esco's good to us. Unlike Sir Chase of Beards in chat says, I don't think the 10-finger plan is creepy. I just hope the 10-finger plan is for me.
I support you. Good for you. Good for you.
We definitely support you. Guys, yeah, everyone chat, anyone who's listening, watching this, whatever, I for whatever reason, I just haven't been able to wake up to my alarm the past few days, and like this morning was no exception. I woke up at 11, right? I feel like 11 was the time that I woke up, and I've been a mess ever since. I'm trying to like haul ass to like get everything ready for the show and like do all this stuff, and I never do that, and so
I have a theory as to why you might not have been waking up to your alarms the past few days, and I'm just spitballing here, but you might be tired need sleep. You might need
He's
sleep.
been sleeping a lot, Jenesy.
You know what? Okay,
I
so
haven't.
we
I
just
never do.
we started. Okay, we
thought
just
you told
started
me you
off
have.
with saying that we're depressed, and you know who else has been sleeping a fuck ton this week? Me, because I'm depressed, and depression needs sleep.
Depression needs sleep. the
Not
temporary
really. I just
Band-Aid
stay up
for
till
you.
4 in the morning and then I wake up at 9.
Yeah. Well, no. See, that's my problem. Is I like am forever staying up until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I like usually like my internal alarm and shit wakes me up at like 7 or 8 because I have to go to work, and I don't have work anymore, but I've still been waking up until the past fucking few days that I've just been like sleeping through all my goddamn alarms. It's been driving.
It's almost like working full time and running a podcast and a whole brand and having a child on 3 hours of sleep might not have been enough for you.
Jenesy is out here for the violence. Jenesy's out here for the violence. You know
This is
what I mean?
not violence. This is pure compassion. This is what compassion looks like. Take care of yourself. I love you, and I think that you deserve all of the sleep that your little body needs and wants.
You know what,
Please
Jenesy?
sleep.
Thank you. I
You
do
poor
deserve
thing.
that. You deserve
You
that
do.
too. You deserve.
You deserve
Devin
sleep.
deserves that. Just like everybody at home
We
deserves
all-
us, because today we are talking Ezio returning, the Batman getting a Twilight rating, PlayStation jumping the whale before the shark, and much, much more. Because this is the Good Kraken podcast. Your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 12 p.m., sometimes 12:16. I fucking hate it here. If you're riding this wave, you can head on over to patreon.com/GoodKrakenShow, where you can submit questions and topics to the show. You get exclusive post-show content and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services across the digital sea. Devin, give me it, please. Please. Yarg, thank you. Yarg. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record the show live right here at twitch.tv/GoodKrakenShow. If you're watching live, you have a very important job. You can head over to Fact Check in the official Good Kraken Discord channel. Hit him with that in the chat, Devin. Hit him with that in the chat. Where you can keep us humble. What was that, Devin?
Don't worry.
Okay, you can keep us humble and correct when we screw up information during the show. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime, and we would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you listening or watching at home. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark, and leaving a review there. Review. Jenesy.
What did I do?
We have some captain's orders. Today, we are talking, please, almost, we are at 100 subscribers on YouTube. Invite your friends, invite your family, get all your kiddos.
Invite your mom, invite your dog, invite your grandma, invite your neighbor that you hate.
Get them to sub. Once we hit 100, the algorithm will be in our favor a little bit more, and we get a URL. Finally, it's the one thing we have not been able to tag and slap our beautiful name across. You know what I mean? Like we need that in our life. Oh, Streamlabs is acting a fool right now. Okay, here. No, that's what happened. I got a gift. I got to give Stream Elements a sub here so that I can. From the account, blah 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 blah. There we go. And now Streamlabs will not be acting like a dum dum. There we go. It's not acting like a dum dum. We gotta give it that. There you go. Okay.
I love.
Thank you, Streamlabs.
You want to something funny because I have to say this because I mentioned invite your neighbor that you hate. Well, my thing on TikTok lately has been watching videos of neighbors yelling at each other and being crazy and fighting each other. It's so funny.
That's such a specific thing because like me, I love fight videos. It's like I have like a bunch of Twitter accounts that I follow of like just like street fights and shit, and like like I love it. Like it satiates this visceral, violent like thing
it's
inside
reality
of me.
TV,
that, like,
dog. It's reality TV.
Yeah, it's like I can't live that life anymore. So like I have to vicariously live through other people living through. So that's how it works for me.
I just love watching videos of teenagers beating up their racist neighbors.
That's fair.
That is fair.
So
that is totally
funny.
fair. That is totally fair.
So
for now,
funny.
my
Makes a lot of
friends, you
sense.
guys are gonna love videos of us talking little waves.
All
Devin.
right, so Little Waves is where we talk about some good news points that we've come across throughout the week. They didn't have quite enough for us to fully dive into with the big news story, but we still thought we would mention them. So moving forward, we got Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection announced for Nintendo Switch. This includes Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. All very good games, mind you. Definitely. Will be released on Nintendo Switch February 17th, 2022 for $39.99. This collection will take full advantage of the capabilities in Nintendo Switch, including enhanced features such as handheld mode, HD rumble, touchscreen interface, and optimized HUD.
Also, just be clear, because I'm pretty sure you've done this before. It's Ezio, Devin. Ezio. Not Ezio. Not Ezio. Ezio.
Sorry. My white side was coming out.
that white
I'm not
white
the
half
only
of you.
one who can't read.
Yeah.
The white half. He was
here
like,
we are.
Easy O. I love Easy O's. That's my favorite cereal.
Easy O.
Easy O's. I love
Ezio.
that. Put some marshmallows in it. Jagger and Chad Jagger, dude.
What's up, Jagger?
We haven't seen you in
Welcome.
so long, man. How have you been? I hope you've been good. Like the breakfast cereal, Etsy O's. There you go. Etsy O's. That's what we need. That's what we need. Devin, this is fucking hype. The Ezio series of Assassin's Creed is like one of my fucking favorites, period.
Oh,
right?
I agree. I agree. I think that it's really cool for people who are huge fans of Assassin's Creed that have multiple consoles. You know, people will probably pick it up just to replay it. Though it are very good games to replay. Assassin's Creed 2 is one of the few games that I've actually 100%ed, collecting all those feathers, my guy. But that, that's really cool. I'm probably not going to get it because I own every single Assassin's Creed game on Xbox.
Yeah, no, period. Yeah, it's on my account.
You know?
Like I don't even need to go back and like buy it or anything like that. It's
But this is still cool. $40 is a decent price point.
Yeah,
I'd almost argue. Yeah, I'd almost argue though that $30 because these games are a decade old.
I mean, like, sure, they're not going to be upscaled, but they will have like something about them that's going to feel better on Nintendo Switch. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, like, it makes sense for 3 video games that each one is like 30 hours, give or take. Like
more than that, honestly.
Yeah,
like, especially Revelations and Brotherhood. I can see Assassin's Creed 2 being about 30 hours, but Revelations and Brotherhood, there's a lot of content.
Especially
in
those
games,
dude. That fucking game, there's a lot to do in Brotherhood, my guy.
Yeah,
like,
there's so much, like building up your assassins and all that stuff. It's a very cool game. In all honesty, the coolest thing about this though is the fact of it just being handheld and you can take it wherever. Because they've already released Assassin's Creed 3 on Switch, I believe, the enhanced edition.
Yes, they did. They did.
So, yeah. But getting a little dirtier, Pig director Michael Sarnowski set to direct third Quiet Place movie. Although this is said to be the third Quiet Place movie, Deadline reports that this is not a sequel to A Quiet Place Part 2, but rather a spin-off based on the idea by John Krasinski and Michael Sarnowski is in talks to helm the new movie. Lots of skis name.
A lot of skis.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of Jewish dudes in the industry. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. They're out there.
One thing I want to say about this, especially if I'm not going to spoil the ending of Last of Us. I mean, not Last of Us. Might as well be Last of Us. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm not going to spoil the Quiet Place Part 2 ending. But I will say, with the way that it ends, it opens it up to go to a lot of other places for other stories to happen, because this is happening. This is a worldwide event.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it'd be really cool to see how they move forward, because honestly, we could be moving towards like a literal like humans versus these monster alien creatures, and you can start seeing a lot of action in a like almost like alien style action now.
Well, and the beautiful part too is like after having had just watched Pig a few days back, like Michael Sarnowski like did a fucking phenomenal job in that movie, and like the energy of Pig, I feel like fits really well in the Quiet Place universe. Like I like it. He's gonna do a good job. I have no doubt that
Yeah.
he's gonna do a good job, like paying homage to those fucking movies, and by making a good sequel. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially with like the way that I haven't watched Pig yet. I think I might try and watch it tonight instead of Scream.
That's fair.
But just from the way that you're talking about it, he keeps it very grounded, right? In that movie, like it's a normal person who's out for
it's
revenge.
not some high action thing the way some people like would think it would be based on the marketing. You know.
So knowing that means that he's going to keep the characters very grounded in a normalcy type of way. I mean, not that it's a normal situation at all, in the Quiet Place universe, but it's people won't be like glorified action heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're not going to get that, which is cool.
Jagger in chat says there have been rumors that Krasinski adapted A Quiet Place to be a early prequel to Cloverfield. I can't speak on that because we try not to like cover like rumors, like we try not to like do that. But like
I like that idea.
I do like the idea.
Here's the thing though. If you've seen Cloverfield Paradox,
which I'm sure Jagger has, because Jagger loves
well, this is just for everybody.
Sure.
We know that there are multiple timelines that are parallel to each other, that are all happening at the same time with certain events that are related to each other. Because each Cloverfield movie has been very different, with a different creature, but they're all related in a sense.
Right.
So,
right.
Which is cool.
Esco, it's Esco in chat saying I keep losing you because I'm on the highways. Esco, we love you. We'll see you back, okay?
I love you, Esco.
Take care of yourself. Be safe, okay? Before we move on, just really quick, Jenesy, does this do anything for you?
No, I don't know. I mean, I recognize. I don't know what Pig is about, but I'm assuming it's a horror movie based on the other context.
No.
What's it about?
So Pig
is a Nicolas Cage movie.
It's that Nicolas Cage movie that was based in Portland. He's a truffle farmer.
Oh shit!
It's his truffle. He's a truffle farmer. His pig gets stolen. He's trying to get his pig back in Portland.
Yeah,
fascinating. Did they film here?
Yeah. It's 100% filmed in Oregon and / Portland. Like they actually show there's a scene in the movie where they're going through like the food cart that's on Division.
Oh yeah.
Like walking through. Yeah. No,
it's
wild. You should watch it, honestly, Jenesy. I think you'd really like it. It's not what you think it is. It's not.
Okay.
It's as A24 as a non A24 movie can get.
Okay,
neat.
That's perfect.
Okay.
And Nick Cage really fits that format really well too.
Very much so.
But anyways, moving on.
Yes.
Also apocalyptic. Stalker 2 delayed until the end of 2022, and I quote: "We have made a decision to postpone the release of Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl to December 8th, 2022. These additional 7 months of development are needed to fulfill our vision and achieve the desired state of the game. Stalker 2 is the biggest project in the history of GSC, and it requires thorough testing and polishing. We are convinced that development should take as long as necessary, especially in the case of such a project." Yeah, absolutely. I'm okay with this.
Fucking time,
I have a lot of fucking games that are coming out, and I have a huge backlog that I have to, even bigger now, because Ernell has been so kind to temporarily make me an owner of a PS4 Pro.
Temporarily. Yeah, no, that's funny.
At least until I can get a PS5. But
hilarious.
But yeah, no, I'm okay with this because I'm really hyped for this game, but as I've grown older and wiser, when a developer says they need more time, they need more time. Let them have that time. And if they say they need more time again when it gets closer to that date, then they need more time, and that's okay with me.
Now listen, you're gonna need them to not delay it again, otherwise you're gonna get fucked on your Fantasy Critic. Let's go.
That's true, but it's not about me. It's about everyone or
Is
no.
it? Is it
Oh,
not
yeah,
about
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
That's your 10-finger plan right there. That's your 10-finger
Yeah.
plan. The 10 fingers
It's
are for
about everybody
everyone.
else. About your pleasure.
The 10 fingers are for.
I hate this.
Devin, keep
But
pushing, my guy.
Anyways, that
I
game
have a
looks.
question.
Yes.
About Stalker 2.
Yeah.
It's not what it sounds like.
Yeah, why is it called Stalker 2? I'm
Stalker.
hoping it's not
Stalker
about
is
stalkers.
It's an acronym.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
So
Somebody's
it's
making bad
based.
decisions.
It's based in Chernobyl, and Stalker is in reference to. Isn't it in reference to like the creatures that stalk you?
No,
in
it's
Chernobyl?
it is the group of people. So it's a backronym for scavengers, trespassers, adventurers, loners, killers, explorers, and robbers. So
Oh.
it is
Okay.
the people in the game essentially.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'm
and-
still gonna
and-
say it. Bad name. Bad name.
Well,
for anything.
there are a lot of bad people in that game. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no. So in the game, stalker is the Ukrainian government's official term for any person illegally residing in the zone of alienation, and that is the nuclear
Wow.
area. Yeah. So you are
Yeah.
one of the stalkers because you're living in that area.
dude,
Um,
Chase, me too. I think I'm gonna make a grilled cheese with some tomato soup after this.
Chase has been working really hard. Chase has been doing runs every single day. Chase, you give yourself a nice good meal. You know what I'm saying?
Just
Get
Chase
a
need to
nice
sleep
meal
too.
in, Chase. You know,
Just
Chase,
remember,
take a nap.
the
Please.
more working out you do, the more calorie intake you need, even if you're losing weight too, because that helps burn it as well.
yeah.
And you
Well, I
need
mean,
to
like,
sleep.
As healthy calories,
yeah,
keep in mind.
yeah. Get those healthy calories and Chase. You're killing
your
it.
proteins
You're
and
killing
your healthy fatty oils like avocado oil and stuff
and
like that.
like Jenesy said,
That's so
get
hard
lots of
without.
sleep. Get lots of sleep. Chase.
Yeah.
Get lots of
And
sleep.
water. Lots of water. We always
Yeah,
forget
speaking
water.
of water, it looks like the Steam Deck will release on time. Doesn't
There we
make
go.
any sense.
Lit.
That was, I
Really
thought we
Valve
were
is
gonna
sending
do a
out
hydrate
More
break.
developer kits to
I
studios to
did.
help test their games for Steam Deck. Quote, first and foremost, we're on track to ship the Steam Deck on time. Global pandemic, supply issues, and shipping issues notwithstanding, it looks like we'll be able to start getting these out the door by the end of February, end quote. Valve said in the statement. I'm actually pretty hype about this because Sierra's been wanting to get back into gaming like even heavier than she has been lately, and she has a Switch.
Sure.
And then she has a MacBook that we have to do a couple little light repairs to because she's had it for a few years. Like we need to do a new battery charge port, and I'm gonna upgrade the RAM for her.
Sure.
But she's been wanting to get back into PC gaming because she had one, but where she lives right now, she doesn't have a lot of room. So we did a little bit of research, and we're like, why not? You already have a computer that you can do all your computer things on. Why don't we just get you a Steam Deck?
110%. The Steam Deck was made for her. That's what
And-
it was made for. Was people like Sierra? Hell yes, do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna. I she's not gonna listen to this. I already know that because she's very busy today. She's working right now.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
I think I'm gonna get this for her for Christmas next year.
Oh yes, baby. Yeah, you are.
If she doesn't get one for with the dock and everything, and I'll be like, here's a nice wireless keyboard, here's a wireless mouse, here's a controller.
Yeah,
Go for it. Yeah,
And
I'm gonna make her.
What you do is you open it up, you turn it on, right? You turn it on. You take a nice, quick little picture of your nipple. Just one nipple.
Oh no! Shut up,
Don't
Ernell.
do that.
All right.
Don't
So
do that.
Chase, the Steam Deck is it's essentially
It's
it's a gaming
effectively-
PC the size of a
yeah.
Switch.
it's a mobile gaming PC. So
That you can play 1080p games at 60 frames per second. Your
Yeah.
whole Steam library.
everything you ever buy on Steam.
You don't even need a
You
MacBook
have
or
a MacBook.
anything.
No, you don't. No, that was a separate thing. What Devin was trying to say is that instead of investing into like the MacBook
gaming
upgrades and getting
Oh,
a gaming PC that direction, like just butter up the Mac PC for now and then get her a Steam Deck later on. So that way, like, she'll be able to do that. If you want, Devin, you can link.
I'm
chat.
sending. Yeah, I'm doing
link,
that right
link,
now.
link chat a Steam Deck link and Chase can take a look at it. It's
Check
there
this
you
thing
go.
out because you could literally, if you wanted to get one of these in the future, granted, they're still going to be like $500-600, just to be honest with you. But this is a great entry point for people who want to get into PC gaming, but not spend, $3,000 on getting a whole rig, including your monitors and everything set up.
But also because keep us playing in the background while you do that.
yeah, keep us playing. Because the Steam Deck, it's a gaming PC. You can dock it, hook it up to a TV, and you can use a wireless keyboard or corded, whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can play with a controller, and you can play everything from fucking Doom to Halo to Skyrim to Last of Us. Whenever that comes to Steam, you could literally play everything on that thing.
Yeah,
so
it's worth it. Well worth it. Devin, keep it pushing. We're running a little behind.
Absolutely. And after being literally too popular to handle, Final Fantasy XIV is going back on sale later this month, Jenesy. In an update post by Nokia Yoshida, the Final Fantasy XIV game director explained that, quote, after due consideration, Square Enix has decided to resume digital sales. Sales for Final Fantasy XIV were suspended back in December following the overwhelming popularity of the game's Endwalker expansion. At the time, Yoshida explained that due to the sheer amount of people playing Endwalker, Square Enix had taken the decision to temporarily stop selling Final Fantasy XIV in order to try and combat the long wait times that players who already own the game were facing. Yeah. So this game is so popular, Jenesy, that their servers were getting overloaded with like tens of thousands of people in long queue times that they had to suspend the sales of this game.
They had to close the fucking gates and say, sorry, y'all, like we can't take any more walk-ins.
It is literally the most popular video game in the entire world right now.
Yep.
Wow.
Which is insane for me. And I know Ernell too, because we grew up hardcore Final Fantasy fans, and in the gaming community, it's either you love Final Fantasy or you don't give a fuck about Final Fantasy.
And the other cool thing about this, Jenesy, and we're saying Jenesy because obviously you're not
because
like
obviously
in our video
I'm
game
super
world.
invested.
Yeah, we're not trying to mansplain.
No. You're Jenesy
promise that.
I don't think you could even mansplain, because mansplaining, at least to a certain degree, like insinuates that I know what's going on and you're explaining something to me that I know.
Mansplaining is if I cut you off and try to tell you that I know what mansplaining is and you don't know. Okay.
You toxic motherfucker. Anyways, let me. So many people got disappointed with the state that World of Warcraft was in, that literally like some of World of Warcraft's top creators and players all moved to Final Fantasy.
I wonder. So we have one of my homegirls, Cineri. She watches our shows a lot. Actually, I'm sure she listens to our podcast. She's a diehard WoW person. I need next time that she's in, I need to ask her if she has any plans to move from WoW over to FF14. Like I'm wondering if she's like at that cusp or not. Like I gotta ask her. And so next time we see her, remind me, because I need to make sure I ask her.
If you ever want to dive in, Ernell, I got 2 characters going. I got one in Raven's world and I got one in Billy Arzir's.
Listen,
world.
I love you, dog. But Garrick beat you, because last night on Dying Light, I'm not playing any other game for a little while besides Horizon Forbidden West. I can't.
We're doing that later tonight, right?
Yes, we fucking are, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, so anyways, moving forward, Final Fantasy XIV is fucking awesome. Oh yeah, we are in the Dying Light category.
Damn it. I fucking changed that. Why did that not change?
So
thank you,
we
Reed.
we all have these mornings. I have them more often than not, but Ernell had a morning, and it's okay because we love him. And everybody needs rest. Yes. Next gen versions of Apex Legends could be on the way soon. A recent tweet from PlayStation Game Size Twitter account, which reports findings from across the PSN database for new game additions and file sizes, suggests that a PS5 version of the game is now in the back end of the service, weighing in at initial 80 gigabytes. The current forwards compatible PS4 version of the game is around 55 for the first time download. So that means that the combined total is going to be 135 gigabytes on your 630
No,
gigabytes of space.
it was like 730. It was like 730.
Still, that's insane.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind that they came out with a next gen console that didn't have a true 1 terabyte in it.
So hold on. So Chase, I knew Chase was going to say something about it.
Yeah,
is. What this is saying is that because PS5 is going to get a next gen update, it's going to be insinuated that Xbox is going to too, because they have the availability of it on PS5, and because the game is cross-platform, that means it's going to be for both PlayStation and Xbox.
Yep.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah. Don't fall into the toxic console war debate over this. Okay?
Yeah. Don't even
don't let it
Chase.
get at you. Don't be an IGN commenter.
Well, no. The reason they phrase this way is because, like, obviously we don't have the context of the rest of the article, but like the reason they phrase this way is because this is what was announced. This is what was talked about. The insinuation is that, hey, PS5 is doing this. What if? And it's just insinuated, like Xbox. Yeah. If they made it for PS5, it's available to be on Xbox too. Like,
this information is coming straight from a PSN data miner.
Yeah.
So like they work specifically on looking at PSN coding and networking and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that's why this story is circulating around PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I think that's really cool because I have been getting back into Apex again. Playing with Chase, playing with Josh, playing with Xander and stuff, and I'm about it. This one, I'm actually pretty about this because more for nostalgic reasons. But the Santa Claus is returning as a Disney Plus series with Tim Allen in the lead role. So, Allen is set to reprise his role as Scott Calvin from the original films, in addition to serving as executive producer on the series as well. Jack Burdett, who has worked on 30 Rock, Modern Family, Frasier, and more, is also on board as executive producer. Production on the series is set to begin in March. That is actually good news. I didn't know about Jack being on it because 30 Rock and Modern Family are great. I think Frasier's boring as fuck, though, so that's just me.
It's in the trees, Jerry.
It's in the trees, Jerry.
Anyways, this is cool. This is tight. I'm okay with it. Have you? Tim Allen has been doing another sitcom for a little while. I can't remember the name of it. I was watching for a little bit because it was okay. Kind of gave off like modern day home improvement vibes, but yeah, I mean, like Tim Allen coming back as Sandy Claus himself. Like, I'm here for it. Yeah, absolutely. Read in the chat says, I really wish Tim Allen was a better person so I could be happy about his success. Yeah, Tim Allen's kind of a little bit of like a conservative cuck, but like, you know, like his content's wholesome, and I think like it makes me more excited for the nostalgia factor of it. But Reed, you're right, Doug. Like we big time agree. We wish he wasn't like anti-abortion and shit. We get
it. yeah. No, I'm with you on that. The main thing that I like is that he does keep that separate from his content, though.
Sometimes that new show I was talking about, they're very on the nose about it. I'm like,
that's probably why I haven't watched it.
Yeah, that's probably good that I don't remember. Yeah, continue on. Yeah. Last little wave here.
Yeah, and last little wave, which is very exciting because as of last night, Ernell forgot that he even had a movie that he had to see because he was having so much fun. Dying Light 2.
I made it on time though.
At least
he stood me
Dying
up.
Light 2 will get at least 5 years of post-launch content. And Ernell will probably forget he has things going on playing this game too. Just a week after Dying Light 2, developer Techland said the game will take, quote, at least 500 hours to fully complete. We're now learning that the game will get at least 5 years of post-launch content with new stories, areas, in-game events, and more in a tweet from Dying Light's official account. Ernell, how does this make you feel?
I am so fucking hyped on that. Goddamn. Here's the deal. I just need it to be known. I need it to be known that
yeah,
if you
Tell us.
fuckers, if you fuckers, not you, Jenesy, you're out of this. You're not the fucker in the situation. If you fuckers, aka brackets Devin and Garrick, we're not so like I don't know if we can if prop night's gonna be a worthy $20 investment, then I wouldn't have been late to the fucking movie last night because
Shut your fucking asshole.
Because it would have hit.
You love Dying Light 2.
It would have hit.
Because if we played Prop Hunt, you would have played it for an hour and be like, this game ain't it.
No,
we were not trying to do another Crash Sailors night.
It would have hit an hour and a half. It would have hit 8:30 and would be like, oh hey, like I gotta go. Like Jenesy's
coming in. Jenesy's coming in. I obviously don't know what Dying Light 2 is. I have no opinions. But now that I know it is responsible, I would like to share a story with you.
Okay.
Naomi and I set an alarm to leave our house. We were laying in that bed right there. We were very comfy, cuddling. Naomi wasn't wearing a shirt. Life was good. We were watching Lucifer. 9 p.m. And we're like, oh, we have to get up. We have to get dressed. We have to go and meet our best friend, Ernell, who we love to spend time with and be on time for. And so we get dressed reluctantly out of bed. We leave. We listen to Taylor Swift and Harry Styles on the way. And then we get there. We decide to wait inside of the food court rather than outside.
Yes, freezing.
Because it's freezing, and we usually wait for Ernell outside.
Oh, Reed said hydrate. Reed said hydrate.
Okay. Also, side note, you're drinking coffee and you're drinking an energy drink. That's not hydration. You're dehydrating yourself. Thank you. Now that I'm done being their mother, I have an embarrassing story to continue. We go inside. We're sitting in the food court. We're chilling. And I'm like, it's fine. 9:30. He's not here yet. It's fine. 9:35. It's fine. 9:45, I'm getting a little concerned. I start to think he got in a car accident or something because he didn't. Well, also I have anxiety, so everyone is always getting in car accidents. You know what I mean?
I know.
Because Ernell always calls me or texts me if he's running late. So I'm like, oh my baby, but I didn't want to call you because what if you were on your way and I called you and then you got in a car accident? So I texted him.
Oh, Jenesy.
So I texted him. And I was just casually, when you're you don't want to text someone and be like, why are you late? So you craft a very crafty message.
Devin does it. Devin does that. Why the fuck are you late?
I'm nicer than you guys, apparently, which I never saw coming.
I do it to them too. Continue.
Yeah, no, when he does it to me, which has only happened that one time, but he was like, where are you, BB? It's always very sweet. I imagine your dialogue is not quite as nice.
It's all of you guys are my little babies. All of you are my little babies, except for Devin, because he's my husband. So I have to I have to be an asshole to him because he's my husband. You know what I mean? That's how it is. Yeah.
And I send a very nice text message being like, hey, we're not waiting outside. We're waiting in the food court when you get here. And I get a call not 2 minutes later, and I hear keys jostling and doors shutting and things. So yeah, he forgot about us. He completely forgot about us playing a fucking video game. And now I have trust issues.
It's a good video game.
It's a good game. It is a good game. It's a very good game.
And it's multiplayer. Mm-hmm. And we were killing zombies, and we were hardcore parkouring across rooftops.
I was sitting in the Clackamas Town Center food court thinking Ernell had died. So don't talk to me,
Don't
Devin.
worry. We were crafting prison shanks to kill zombies with and blunt weapons, and we were throwing ninja stars at them.
Well, you know what you could do?
Shooting them with explosive arrows.
You could text your mother and let her know so she doesn't think you're dead in a ditch.
It's true. We're sorry, Jenesy. I'm very sorry.
Specifically, Ernell is sorry because it was his obligation.
Yes, I'm very sorry.
Me, I just think it's funny.
I am not sorry.
Funny. It was hilarious. I was dying laughing. like last night after I knew you weren't dead. It was great.
Reggie,
what's up?
Reggie in the chat. What's happening, dude? It says sounds like Lloyd Center Mall, not Clackamas.
It was definitely Clackamas.
It was definitely Clackamas. We would not be kicking out the Lloyd Center Theater. I'll tell you that.
If I'd been at Lloyd Center, it would have been even worse, dude. And it was foggy last night. I would have been like, Ernell, don't leave your house.
I would not have let my two lovely like white people like hang out.
White people.
Dog, like here's the deal. I used to kick
little
it.
white women.
I used to kick it a lot at Lloyd Center. That is not the place to be kicking it at fucking 10 o'clock at night. Like I get it. And you guys get the Helm.
Nice. I heard you try to segue that earlier too.
Oh my god.
You know, I'm trying. I'm just out here doing the thing. Jenesy, hit the people with our first story.
They didn't take away my reading privileges, guys. It's okay.
You're doing great. You're doing amazing.
We're back. All right. How many words can I read? All right. The Batman lands PG-13 rating despite gritty, violent tone. Rebecca Rubin from Variety. Don't expect gratuitous violence or excessive F-bombs in The Batman. The newest Caped Crusader story, starring Robert Pattinson as Gotham City's enigmatic protector, has landed a PG-13 rating from the Motion Picture Association, despite speculation the Warner Brothers movie could be rated R. The film has been rated PG-13 for strong, violent, and disturbing content, drug content, strong language, and some suggestive material. So there's not going to be any sex? What the fuck? According to the MPA. Sources close to the film say The Batman, which is grounded more in reality than recent DC adaptations, was able to nab a PG-13 rather than an R rating because it doesn't have excessive foul language or nudity. Sorry, Pattinson fans. For the record, Pattinson is not who I would come to this movie to see nudity for. Just so we're clear.
Facts.
Yeah.
It would instead be Colin Farrell as Penguin.
Yeah. No, the woman whose name I can never remember who's playing Catwoman.
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz,
Yeah.
Obviously.
She is gorgeous.
A beautiful ass human, I'm telling you.
She's
Beautiful ass.
gorgeous.
I mean, Pattinson is also a beautiful ass dude, but he's not the highlight of this movie, right? Like he's not like he is, but he's not. You know what I mean? Like for my eyes, at least, for my little eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My eyes,
I do love
eyes are
emo
out here. I'm
Pattinson,
watching
though.
you.
I
I'm watching you,
don't
Robert
trust him
Pattinson.
anymore. I don't trust Batman anymore.
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Continue. Jesse.
And though intense action scenes abound, it's more along the lines of exploding buildings and wrecked cars than merciless stabbings or shooting sprees. With that in mind, the less provisional rating isn't a surprise since Christopher Nolan's exceedingly grim Dark Knight trilogy were christened as PG-13. Also disappointing. Still, there had been internal chatter on the Warner Brothers lot that Pattinson's Vigilante could be the first R-rated Batman adaptation due to its dark and gritty tone. In the past, Warner Brothers Picture Group chairman Toby Emmerich has expressed his desire to differentiate DC from Disney's comparatively family-friendly Marvel Cinematic Universe. It has succeeded more critically than commercially speaking in doing so with R-rated DC properties such as James Gunn's Gonzo and Gory The Suicide Squad reboot, Joaquin Phoenix's Mad Joker, and Birds of Prey, and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. How do I say that?
Joaquin.
What did I say?
Joaquin.
Joaquin.
Joaquin Phoenix.
I know it's Joaquin. Wow, my reading. Look
It's
at
okay.
that.
You're good.
The thing is, sometimes like we're reading things, we don't realize like
Yeah.
what exactly it is that we're
For
saying
real.
until we like
I knew it was
process it.
Joaquin Phoenix. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize I said it different. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a walking
Joaquin.
phoenix. You know what I
A
mean?
walking
like a bird
phoenix,
that
yeah.
just
A walking
that
phoenix.
clip to it just walk.
Mhm.
Reed says in
Anyway.
chat the way you just said Joaquin was funny as fuck.
Dude, were you here last week? Because that was a disaster.
No,
I
listen.
couldn't read for shit.
Listen, you're doing amazing comparatively. You got this. Keep it pushing.
Yeah,
you got
keep
it.
it rolling.
Let's do it.
During the pandemic, younger males have been fueling the wobbly recovery of the... Excuse you? That's offensive. I'm going to start this sentence over again because I'm angry. During the pandemic, younger males have been fueling the wobbly recovery of the domestic box office, so limiting younger audience members could be perceived as unwise. I I have been showing up to fucking movie theaters like no other young males. I want to see your fucking statistics, you piece of shit. What the fuck?
You know what it's probably specifically singling out over this quarantine is young males in the South or East Coast who are conservative and don't give a fuck about mask mandates and are going to movie theaters anyways.
Numbers on that shit, because I don't believe you, young males. Oh my god.
Continue.
Rude. Thank you.
Yeah. God
Damn it, Rebecca.
Rebecca. Directed by Matt Reeves, The Batman centers on Bruce Wayne's earlier days of fighting crime. In his pursuit of justice, Batman uncovers corruption in Gotham City while pursuing the Riddler, a serial killer portrayed by Paul Dano. The movie also stars Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Andy Serkis. How do I say that name?
Circus, yeah.
I was never gonna get that.
Yeah, that's Claw in Black Panther.
That's actually like how it reads too. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Andy Serkis as Batman's butler, Alfred Pennyworth, Colin Farrell as the rising crime lord known as Penguin, and Jeffrey Wright as Gotham City's police chief, James Gordon. The Batman is scheduled to release in theaters on March 4th.
Guys, that's so close.
It is.
It's gonna be so good. I'm very, very excited.
So
I need to jump in on this because I feel very passionately about this. If you are legitimately, listen, people at home, if you are legitimately concerned about this movie being PG-13, shut the fuck up. Man. Holy fucking shit. There are so many good movies that were PG-13. The rating of the movie is not going to matter that much. I'm sorry, guys. Venom 2 did not suck ass because it was not rated R. It sucked ass because it sucked ass. It was a fucking bad movie. I'm sorry. The Dark Knight movies were PG-13. And those were some of the best movies we've ever gotten, period.
Spider-Man No Way Home was PG-13.
Like, it does not fucking matter. Like this movie being PG-13 will be no exception to the fact that it could either be absolute gold or it will be dog shit. The rating is not going to change that fact. Again, Venom 2 did not suck because it wasn't rated R. It sucked because it was a hot fucking garbage fire, and y'all need to just fucking accept it, okay?
You know what will suck if it's PG-13?
What?
Deadpool 3.
Well, I mean, like, even then though, like I have all the faith in the world that the creators of the Deadpool movies will have ways to make that still be a good movie regardless of its rating, because they are that good at making those movies. Like, they will find a way. On top of the fact that Deadpool is fucking self-aware as fuck. Like, they will find a way to make that work. Reading chat says how many good ass movies are PG, much less PG-13. Exactly.
The best kinds.
The best kinds. Jenesy, go ahead.
The feeling I have about PG-13 ratings, because there are plenty of movies that I love that are PG-13.
Yes.
I do think that there are some forms of media, and that's what I think Devin is speaking to, that should be rated R. I think that there is, like, I mean, there's obviously like a vilification of strong language and adult content, which is why it gets the R rating. And I dislike that dialogue. I do think that it would make a lot of sense for Batman to be rated R. I also agree with you. I think it's still going to be a phenomenal movie, or it's going to sink not because of its rating. If it's going to sink, it's going to sink because they made it bad. But there's nothing that I've seen about it so far that indicates it's going to be a bad movie.
It's absurd to me that there's some people out there that really, really think the movie is going to be better if someone pops a titty out. Like, I can't wrap my mind around about that.
So go ahead.
Also, there are, like, sometimes things are bad because they popped a titty out when they shouldn't have, where they used F-bombs where they shouldn't have, or whatever. I also think that there are a lot of things, like Spider-Man is a great example. Hamilton, which is available on Disney Plus, they made PG-13 so that it would have been, if they stuck to the original script, it would have been rated R because it has, I think, 2 F-bombs. But they took one out so that the kids could have it. Is what. And
if that was the only thing crossing the barrier,
it was for the kids.
Yeah,
did it for the kids.
Yeah.
I will say this. I will say this. I think there is room because for a rated R Batman movie, I'm not saying that this movie has to be rated R,
Sure,
but
sure.
it would have definitely fit the tone. And when I think of rated R Batman, I think of along the lines of Logan. You know what I mean? The way that was violent, not because it had nudity, because it didn't, not because of the gore, which it did have a lot of gore. Because let's be honest, Wolverine, sharp fucking vibranium claws, he's gonna cut people up. It's how it is in the comics too.
Yeah.
I mean,
And these early days of Batman is when he's pretty much like suicidal and out for vengeance and literally doesn't hold anything back. And like when he's a younger Batman in the comics, he makes those mistakes of killing some people.
yeah,
And
he does.
I mean, they can still portray that PG-13. I just think if it had that rated R tone that's more Logan-ish, it still would have worked. I'm not looking for nudity. I'm not looking for F-bombs or anything. I'm just looking for that tone. You know what I mean?
I think the. Sorry, go ahead and finish your thought. I don't mean.
Well, I was just saying, like that tone, just the way of the grittiness and stuff like that. I am not upset that this is a PG-13 movie at all.
Yeah.
I just it's one of those things where like they could almost like have a little bit more room to play with a little bit more Batman in that sense, you know. And I'm just going off of some of the comics. I'm not going to be an angry PC, you know.
My thing to me is that like they I don't know, with Logan and Deadpool and like how we sort of start navigating towards those rated R Marvel characters. For what they were trying to do, it needed to be rated R in order for them to have that cushion, right? For them to have that space to really dive deeper into those characters, because those characters inherently are that way. And like that makes sense to me. I don't think that there's ever any kind of necessity for that in the Batman universe. I don't see any reason for it, you know?
I'm not saying necessity, but with some of the, again, this is a rumor. We're not reporting on this. I just want to clarify this right now. But there is a rumor that this is set in the same exact timeline as the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, because at the end of the Joker, spoilers, this movie's already been out for a few years, so I don't care at this point. Stop me right now, Ernell, if you don't want me to say this. At the end of the movie, it shows Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed. And everything, and it shows young Bruce Wayne. And the film style of the Batman with Reeves definitely looks similar to the film style of the Joker, like the color palettes and the film grain and the contrast and everything. So to me, when I see this movie and I've heard that rumor before, I would still like, you know, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker to explore that rated R space that it had, because it wasn't like gratuitous, like it wasn't like really super violent, but like when it was violent, it had that impact because of it being rated R.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
And I think a lot of that too was like the only reason that it was rated R was because of that one scene, right? That one scene that I won't spoil for anyone. It's because of that one scene, and in order for them to really get to the climax of Joker's like peak arc, they had to do that. Like that, like as Reed says in chat, going for violence and nudity without any plot or character significance is pointless. Would it make it a better movie? Probably not. In that case, it did make it a better movie because it was the peak of Joker's like villain arc in Deadpool, in Logan. That was a key part of those movies, a key part in that character, those character arcs. That's fine. With Batman, sure. Like I'm sure they could definitely work with like Batman accidentally killing villains, right? They can do that, but they can also do that without a rated R rating. And if it's not necessary, absolutely necessary for them to do it, because when they do that, when they lock it into rated R, they lock out an entire section of their audience. And if they can avoid doing it, they should avoid doing it.
Let's be real though. This Batman movie does not look suitable for kids even at 13 years old.
No,
you know
it doesn't.
What I mean? Especially with its Zodiac killer vibes. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm with Devin in that I think that a rated R Batman would be totally appropriate, especially if they did it well. I don't think I want a rated R Batman with Robert Pattinson. And I know I've said this before on here, and I'm not trying to start a fight, but I will fight if I need to. I don't trust Robert Pattinson. I don't trust him, and I don't trust him as
Really?
Batman. I don't trust this man.
I trust him way more than Ben Affleck.
And I'll
He's
tell-
like
well,
way
that's
more.
fair.
Sure. I mean, I would trust a dog to play Batman better than Ben Affleck, but but Pattinson has just been so inconsistent.
He's so
like,
inconsistent.
Yeah.
And
That's my only concern.
Last time I mentioned this, Ernell was out here being like, well, we can't judge him for Twilight. I love Twilight. Fucking Kristen Stewart was in Twilight. I'm not out here not trusting her because she's amazing and I love her and she's our lesbian god. But I don't trust Robert Pattinson, and I really do think it's because of his fucking movie Remember Me. I will never trust that man after that fucking movie.
That's a good
Don't
movie,
watch-
though.
How can you think that?
I
How
liked
can you
it.
think
It's
that?
for a rom, right? Like, sure.
It's not a.
It's
I
not
mean,
a rom.
It's not a rom.
Like,
it's
not
not
a
a
rom.
rom.
No,
It
okay,
is
okay.
a lying piece of shit because I go into this movie and I'm just clicking through Netflix, chilling out like a year or so ago, and I'm like, oh, Robert Pattinson in a rom-com, right? Or a romantic drama or whatever it is. I'll fuck with it. I watch it. He ends up to be like a super toxic piece of shit. So I'm already unhappy. They get back together at the end. I'm already unhappy. And then I'm sitting here coincidentally on September 11th. And it turns into a 9/11 movie in the last 5 fucking minutes.
It
It was sad. He was a piece of shit the whole time, and he fucking tried to have a redemption.
Listen. I love you guys.
I just have
I
one
love
thing
you
to say.
guys. I love you
One
guys.
thing to say.
Go
He was
ahead.
great in The Tenet, and he was great in The Lighthouse. So
He was okay in Tenet. He's only in it for 10
Tenet
minutes.
wasn't
Like,
wasn't
haven't watched
okay
Tenet.
movie, but he was.
no, he was one of the better parts of Tenet for sure.
I don't trust
the
that
the
man.
Lighthouse was just good direction, honestly. Like let's be they that
Sorry,
really
my Google
fucking good.
Home just went off when I said that. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay. Here's the deal. I love you guys. We can't dive into
Yeah.
this any longer because we are like almost 20 minutes behind.
Yeah, let's go.
So I will cover this really fast. There's honestly probably not any like commentary really that we even need for this, but PS5 shortage has reportedly led Sony to make more PS4s than initially planned. This comes from Adam Bankhurst at IGN, and he says to deal with the ongoing global PlayStation 5 shortage, Sony has allegedly decided to produce more PlayStation 4s than it had initially planned to help, quote, fill the supply vacuum and keep gamers within the PlayStation ecosystem, end quote. Excuse me, burped a little bit. As reported by Bloomberg, sources say Sony has told assembly partners that it is planning to produce PS4s throughout 2022, despite having plans to quote-unquote discontinue assembly at the end of 2021. This strategy would add roughly 1 million PS4s to help with the fact that it can't produce enough PS5s due to the global chip shortage that is impacting so many parts of the tech world thanks to challenges that have arisen, from the COVID-19 pandemic. This number could be Horizon zeroed on, yeah. This number could be adjusted based on demand, and the decision was said to be reached because, quote, the older consoles use less advanced chips, is simpler to make, and provides a budget-friendly alternative to the PS5, end quote. According to Sony official who asked to remain anonymous, the strategy is meant to, quote, fill the supply vacuum and keep gamers within the PlayStation ecosystem, end quote. It feels like they're kind of repeating some shit. That's weird. Furthermore, increasing the production of PS4 consoles appears to give Sony, quote, more leeway when negotiating with manufacturing partners for a better deal, end quote. Sony has confirmed to Bloomberg that PS4 production would continue throughout 2022, but it also has denied that it was planning on discontinuing the assembly of its previous console. Quote, it is one of the best-selling consoles ever, and there's always crossover between generations, end quote, a Sony spokesperson.
I do have something to say.
Sure.
At the beginning of the PS5, they're saying we believe in generations and we're going to leave the PS4 behind. They did say that.
Yeah.
So I think it's hilarious now. And also, a lot of people are trying to say, and this isn't towards you at all because you obviously agree that this was a good idea. a lot of people tried to say that the Series S was a bad idea and blah 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 and all that, and like why would you make an inferior console in the next gen even though it is better than all the previous gen consoles? You know,
They're just
it's
morons.
they should have came out with something other than just a digital version of the PS5. They should have came out with a in between like Microsoft did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it would have been more beneficial because it's different tech hardware than what's in the, you know, like for the Series S to the Series X. They just have different chips, right? That's the biggest part of it.
Well, and not even just that though, but it's like, I mean, PlayStation.
Dude,
let's be real, right? PlayStation should have just done a better job of anticipating their market, because the PS4 was one of the biggest like console generations to date period ever. Like they should have just fucking known the PS5 was not going to fucking survive the demand if they could not keep up production. They should have just done a better job fucking producing the fucking consoles. Like, and they just didn't. They just really did not think about like doing it that way. And then the pandemic happened. They were like, fuck. Like we were gonna do this in batches, and now we fucking can't because of pandemic. They should have fucking done better.
Yeah, you know what happened? There was somebody in the boardroom that went, guys, Microsoft is doing a smaller console. We should do a PS 4.5 because it's all number based. And then somebody backhanded them and said, no,
no, we are not gonna do that. We are not gonna do that.
But in all reality, at least they are backpedaling on a lot of the things that they did say at the beginning of this new generation, because they were saying that they weren't going to support, any of this stuff.
I mean, everything's changed, right? Everything's fucking changed the past couple of years. Like, the only reason Microsoft didn't do the same is because they didn't have to. They handled their cards better. Like, if they were in the same position, they would have had to do the same fucking thing. Like,
they have the Series S as their budget console. I mean, it's $300. That's how much an Xbox One was. Yeah. But it's way better than an Xbox One. But here's the thing: Microsoft discontinued their making Xbox Ones in 2019 or right at the beginning of 2020. They stopped making them quietly. They just didn't say anything about it. They just stopped doing it, and they just focused on the Series S as their budget console
because they were able to, because they played their cards right. Like period. Exactly. That's all. They just did a better job of planning ahead, and PlayStation did not. PlayStation really were out here. They were like, listen, we can sell this amount because we know people want these, right? We know people want these. So we'll just make this amount. When we get halfway through, we'll make the next batch, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you can't make the next batch because there's a fucking shortage in the supply of producing the consoles you're trying to sell, Microsoft said, let's just make a whole fucking bunch and then we'll just keep producing as we roll out. And even then, like, it's, obviously we've seen the effects on the Xbox Series X, but like they had the Series S as their fallout plan just in case. And it's easier to make. It was smaller. Like, they didn't have to worry about any of the weird logistics of the digital version of the PS5. It was just a standard good version of a console, and they were still able to keep producing it regardless of the pandemic because they planned accordingly.
Yeah. And again, I like Sony. There's a lot of things Sony does I don't like, but I do like Sony. I just have to rephrase that.
Sure.
But it's just amazing.
You're muted, Jenesy. You're muted.
It's just amazing how much backpedaling they've done, because Sony has always been the consumer friendly, like, hey, we got the shit in lock. We got you guys taken care of. Don't worry, you can share your games still. You know what I mean? That's been Sony.
Yeah.
And this last year, it's been very unlike Sony. It's like someone who's coordinating all this is going through their midlife crisis, and they're like, we're gonna do this. Oh fuck, shit.
Well,
no, we're going back to this.
You're right. I also want to make sure that we keep in mind too, like we've talked about this before. Each company between Sony and Microsoft, every generation they go back and forth between slipping and being successful. Being successful. Like the last generation with Xbox One, they were stumbling like fucking crazy, having to backpedal every step of the way until they figured it out.
What had to happen is they needed a new head of Xbox. That's what happened.
Yeah.
They got rid of Don Matrick, and then Phil Spencer came in and he's like, all right, this is how you do it. So,
but like, even before then, the Xbox 360 capitalized perfectly. The PS3 flopped. PlayStation 2 killed it. Xbox was, kind of coming in a little bit, weird to the
I
game.
will say that the PlayStation 3 was very similar to the Xbox One generation because it flopped for the first 2-3 years, and then after that, it got really good. But
that is my exact point. Every single generation they do this. They do this back and forth thing. One, the other is fucking up while the other is successful, and they're just kind of riding that wave from their last generation and try to capitalize on them doing better this next time around. I don't want to dive into it anymore, but
just speaking of new generations, Ernell, I think we have something to tell everybody about.
We do have something to tell everyone about. Everyone, please take a listen to our sponsor. This episode of the Good Kraken podcast is brought to you by Glide Mousepads. PC gaming and office work is more popular than ever before, making your workflow and efficiency an absolute necessity. You need your peripherals and accessories to be running silky smooth in order for you to keep clicking heads. And now, we've got just the thing to keep that KD at an all-time high. Glide Mousepads is the future industry leader in mousepads, offering beautiful, smooth, waterproof products made with eco-friendly materials and non-slip rubber in a variety of sizes that are guaranteed to give you the edge you're needing in the heat of digital warfare. I'll tell you what, why even bother with a piece of junk like this when you could get your mouse the battle rug it's only ever dreamed of? Right now, you can follow Glide Mousepads over on Twitter at Glide Mousepads. Again, that's at Glide Mousepads for updates on when their store officially opens. And stay tuned on Good Kraken for a special offer we'll have for you when that happens. Again, that's at Glide Mousepads over on Twitter. Glide Mousepads, you will succeed. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you, Reed, for the mouse pads. Yeah, baby.
Battle rug.
Battle rug. Hey, listen, the battle rug was a clever thing from yours truly. Okay, I was trying. Okay, it's a battle rug. It's a battle rug. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to move into hands on deck. Hands on deck, ladies and gents, is our little segment where we talk about some things that we've been playing or watching. We try to pitch them to each other. We try to pitch them to you guys at home to see if you can get into some other nerdy entertainment that you might like, that you might fall in love with. You know what I mean? That won't have Robert Pattinson. Devin, what have you been playing or watching, my guy?
I think we kind of have a combined one.
No. We don't.
Yeah, no. Honestly, not too much out of the ordinary. You have been gracious enough to loan me your PS4 Pro. So really, I've just been getting myself familiar with a few of the games I haven't played. I restarted a playthrough on Spider-Man because I want to get that story in before I play Miles Morales again, or before I need to play Spider-Man again before I play Miles Morales. That's what I'm meaning to say.
Sure.
And then I dipped my feet into Ghost of Tsushima finally, and it is a gorgeous ass game.
Yeah, it's
so
fucking
good.
beautiful. It's such a good.
It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks so good.
I think I'm going to dive into that one the most, actually, because as far as what I've ventured into, that's what I've played the most, and I've only put an hour into it. Yeah, no one's got to pitch Spider-Man. Ghost of Tsushima, though, as first impressions for me, it's beautiful game. And yes, I have Sekiro. I've played Sekiro. Sekiro is a great read. But I just love the art style in Ghost of Tsushima. I know I'm late to it personally, but I just haven't had the ability to play it until now. But I really see myself just sinking 80 hours into that game. Honestly, it's gonna be really nice to experience.
I told you, you're gonna fucking fall in love with it, man. It is way too good. Way too good.
Thank God there's a performance mode that has 60 frames per second, because I was not about to play that shit in 30 frames. No, I can't play games in 30 frames anymore. I try to, and it looks like the game is stuttering to me now.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, I get it.
I have been ruined by PC gaming.
You're floating above all of us. It's okay. I get it.
No, I'm not. You got a fucking PS5, you dork.
I thought it was a vision thing. I thought your eyes might be fucked up.
No.
It's your high.
He's so used to having smooth, better than all of us gameplay that he can't fall short of that shoreline anymore.
So he's TV. TV usually runs at what, like 24 frames per
It's
second.
it's technically, yeah, it's like just under 25 frames on TV, and then our eyes can only process like 54 frames like per second. Yeah.
Reed just called me a peasant.
Well, no, because you are actively playing games at a fucking 120 FPS all the
I
goddamn
am.
time. It's
My
us who are the
monitors-
presidents, okay?
My monitors are set up to 165 hertz.
God,
My
you-
guy, I got a 3060 with an AMD Ryzen
you
7 5800X.
smooth gameplay try hard motherfuckers. I'm so tired of
I
y'all.
know. I'm gonna flex myself on that one.
Flex
okay?
yourself. There you go. Thank you.
Oh
Thank you,
my
buddy.
gosh.
I appreciate you.
But anyways, yeah, I've just been diving in and getting familiar with the PS4 again because I haven't had one in like since
Years.
God of War.
Yeah,
actually,
years, yeah.
yeah. The God of War was the last exclusive that I played, 2017.
Let's go,
And
baby. I'm excited
yeah,
for you
it was-
to get caught up on those experiences, my guy. It's gonna be
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I'm excited. I will tell you guys more. Not this week, but what do you probably in the next week or two. Just so all you guys know, I am actually going to be doing a Last of Us Part 2 playthrough.
Yes, you
no,
are, my guy.
Because that is the game I'm most excited to play, and I haven't even fired it up yet, and I really want to fucking play that game. But other than that, Jenesy, what have you played or watched this week?
I have been watching something very exciting, and I can't believe it took me this long to watch it, but at the same time, I actually got to this relatively on time because the last season just came out in September of 2021, so I'm like actually not super late to the party. I have been watching Lucifer.
Oh God. Okay.
It's really good. Have you watched it or not? Because I know Devin hasn't.
I say, oh God, because I've talked about this with the guys on the show here before. My mom has watched that entire show numerous times. Like she's obsessed with Lucifer. It is fucking hilarious.
I have already wanted to be friends with your mom, but now I not only want to be friends with her, but I have mad respect. What the fuck? Your mom
It is
loves
a lot.
Lucifer?
It's a lot. Now, granted,
What do you know about Lucifer?
she is retired, disabled. She hangs out at home. Like she needs to fill her time when she's not doing little things like around the house and stuff. So she is just burning through Lucifer all the time. Loves it. Loves that fucking show. Lucifer, and for whatever reason, NCIS. Like she's just really into those fucking shows. Like
NCIS makes sense. Like if you were to tell me that your mom was obsessed with the show and it like wasn't like a baking show or something, like I don't know, like old retired mom who is also a grandma, like I would not assume Lucifer.
She's currently burning through Knight Rider. Like the classic David Hasselhoff show, Knight Rider. Like she's currently watching that again. Like, oh my God, it's hilarious. Anyways,
did you give your mom the chocolates that I got for her for Christmas?
I did, yes. And she said thank you. She loved it. She loved it.
Great,
yes,
because
yes.
I'm planting the seeds so that when she meets me, she'll love me and we can be friends.
Of course, yes, of course. Anyways, Jenesy, continue. Talk briefly on Lucifer.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Lucifer, I was just flipping through Netflix and I needed something to watch, and Lucifer was not something on my list. It has never been recommended to me. It was not something that I was like I have so many shows in the back of my mind that I'm going to watch this at some point. I just need to wait for the right time. But I did the watch something feature on Netflix, or play something, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And it started playing and I was like, oh, I'll fuck with it for a few minutes and probably find something else. But I started watching it and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of fun. And then Lucifer's bisexual. And at first I thought I was going to dislike them making the devil bisexual because I thought it was going to be like how I felt about Loki, like undertones of biphobia, but it's actually wonderful. He's a really fun bisexual character. He's a really fun character. They're basically they're totally reinventing the way that we think about the devil, and they're bringing a whole new narrative to discussions of religion and what it means to believe in God and angels and the ways that angels can interact with us and maybe do interact with us on Earth. And it's very fun, and it brings like theology into like a totally different realm, which I really didn't think I was gonna vibe with it as hard as I am. And it's actually like really making me think some like big religion thoughts. I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
it's very cool. It's
I've
very
heard, I've
cool.
heard it's very creative. It is based on a DC comic, I believe, for titled Lucifer.
Yeah.
And they do play around with that a whole lot. So I'm glad that they're because I've only ever watched like a couple throwaway episodes, and I'm like hanging out with my mom when she's just so happens
Yeah.
to watch it. So I don't know too much. What I do know is a few times that I have watched, it's very teetering CW, but also like plays around some things very intelligently. And so yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I can see
Absolutely.
where you're coming
It's
from.
it's also very interesting. I'm on season 5 now and I'm interested to see how I continue to like it because originally it was owned by Fox. The show has been canceled twice.
Yeah.
The show has been canceled twice
Mm-hmm.
and its fan base brought it back from the dead. And I have mad respect for that. So it was originally owned by Fox where it got 3 seasons and someone at Fox needs to be fucking fired because I can't believe they were going to end that fucking series on that finale. I'm so angry. Yes,
Devin, what's up?
Devin.
Well, Fox did end up going pretty much bankrupt too, and then Disney bought it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they
they're-
did. They
they're
did
trying-
because
they're
they were
trying to do
making
their
bad
thing.
decisions. They were
Yeah.
making bad
They
decisions.
were. They very
So,
much were. Do you have any final
Then
thoughts,
Netflix
Jenesy?
got it, and then Netflix got it, and then they canceled it, and then the fans got upset again. So I'm just here. I'm in awe of Lucifer fans. I have mad respect for y'all because thank you for getting us 6 seasons.
There
That's
you
it.
go. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful. I am going to talk today a little bit about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I played that on stream last week, and I am very much like loving that fucking experience. I do have to pick it back up here pretty soon. I've just been so busy, but my experience with it on stream playing that game for the first time. Listen, I've never really played a Ratchet and Clank game. I played the first one and was like, yeah, sure, like it's like action 3D platformer. Like, I'm totally here for it. You know what I'm saying? This game. Devin, when the day comes you get a PS5, when that PS5 Slim comes out, and you get access to those games, you have to play this game, dude.
I plan on it.
This game has fucking. Did you watch like the VOD at all?
I watched like 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, dude. This game has some hype shit in there that they pulled off so well. Reading chat, don't gotta sell it to me. I'm gonna play it from like the hour of gameplay I saw. That shit is fire. Yeah, there's some cinematic pieces that they did that just looked absolutely stunning. Yeah, we were talking the other day about like games that like before their gameplay and their cinematic pieces, like their cinema cuts, looked completely different. Reed. Anyway, I really gotta go. Appreciate you guys. We love you, Reed. You be good, dude.
Peace out, Reed. Thanks for joining
Yeah,
us.
so yeah,
Bye,
thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you. Yeah, how those two things usually like before would look so different. Like you could just tell when it's a cutscene versus what the actual gameplay. This is fluid all the way through. Everything looks exactly the same. Everything looks beautiful all the fucking time. I really underestimated ray tracing prior to playing this game because like every character in this game is either has fur or they have steel on them because they're a robot. And the way the light reflects off of everything is some of the dopest shit ever in a fucking video game. The fur textures look good. The particle effects look good. The effects of the guns look good. The adaptive triggers on the PlayStation controller feel amazing for each individual gun because they all do different things. So, for example, like the shotgun that you get in the game is called the Enforcer. It's a double barrel shotgun, and the trigger, if you pull it halfway down, it'll shoot one of the barrels. If you pull it all the way down, it'll shoot both barrels at once. You can also chain it, where it's like if you want boom, boom, like left, right, you can go halfway and then pull. Like it's based on timing, and you can feel the click in the actual trigger on the controller. It's insane. Like this game was a really, really cool experience. I'm really excited to dive even deeper on it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited to beat this game.
Yeah, I definitely want to play that game, and it was actually disappointing seeing how snubbed it got at the Video Game Awards because like even I like without having a PS5, I've seen that game before, and I played previous Ratchet Clanks. I was like, oh, that game looks good. That game looks real good. You
I'm
know,
not disappointed in the least bit. Yeah,
Mhm.
it definitely got snubbed a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it should have at least won something, right?
Yeah.
Something, dude. Like this game's a lot of
Mhm.
fun. Like
And
it's a lot of fun.
ray tracing, I never used to think it was a big deal until I got my hands on a Series X and a high end GPU because,
God damn.
boy, more specifically, recently for me, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on PC,
Mm-hmm.
and the ray tracing of all the lighting that reflects off of Cloud's Buster Sword is just like in awe. Like I think I streamed it to you that one night. I was like, dude, you see this? You see this?
It's so good, dude. It's so
Yeah.
fucking good. I can't
Yeah.
fucking believe it. I can't believe it.
But with that being said, guys, they
Yes.
have some things to talk about.
Yes. So we are now going to move into the Gallows. Okay. Now here's the deal. Me and Jenesy saw a movie last night called Scream. Okay. And Scream is not something that is up Devin's alley, one could say. You know what I'm saying? It's just not really for Devin.
Boring slasher movie.
It's not really up
and
my avenue either, but
Yeah. So what
I
we're
took
going
one for the team.
what we're going to do is right because we're the little movie kids. You know what I'm saying? Like we're
Also,
here
I've
for
been
it.
sick for 2 weeks.
He's
so I
also
really
been
should
sick.
have done
Yeah.
He wasn't able to. If Devin
thing.
was able to make it, I think Devin would have given it a shot. And you know it'd be a different story. But Devin's not crazy interested in the Scream franchise. He didn't get a chance to see the movie. So what we're going to do is say bye to Devin. We love Devin.
I love you, Devin.
We love you, dog. You be good. We will talk after the show.
Goodbye, y'all.
And you enjoy it.
Have
Some time.
a wonderful time
to
talking
relax.
about a
Yes.
movie that got a not so honest rating from IGN.
We
Lie. It's a dirty fucking lie.
we will be talking about it. Everyone, let's say bye to Devin. We love you, Devin. We will talk to you later, baby boy. Bye. Sheesh. Okay, so we have
It's
a
us.
2-window panel. Okay, it's me and you, Jenesy. We are doing this today. Today we are talking Scream, aka Scream 5, 2022. Directed by Tyler Gillette and Matt Bettinelli Olpin. That is a name. Released January 14th, 2022. Runtime of 114 minutes with a budget of $24 million and a box office so far of $13.3 million. Thankfully the budget was not that high because they were not
thank
going to
God.
hit much higher than that. I tell you that. Some random fun facts here that we have. Let's see. I have a big old list. I didn't get a chance to pick out the ones that we like, but on May 6, 2020, Neve Campbell said in an interview, that the new directors approached her and that she is currently in talks to return as Sydney in Scream 5. It was confirmed on September 10th, 2020, that she would indeed reprise her role, which Campbell herself announced in a social media post. Let's see here. Yes, she is back. That is in the trailers, by the way. That's not a spoiler. She is hell in this movie. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, like it's not gonna have that many great fucking.
It
fun
wasn't
facts here.
that interesting. Yeah.
Listen. We'll dive into it. To avoid any potential plot details from being leaked to the public, several different versions of existing scenes in the film were shot along with multiple versions of the actual script being written. As plot details being leaked by cast and crew members has famously been a problem with the franchise. The most notable example being Scream 2 in 1997, which had to be almost entirely rewritten when an extra leaked the script to the public. Imagine how pissed off those writers were. Like, God fucking damn it. We gotta rewrite the whole fucking thing. Oh, dude, I would have been so mad. Let's see. We'll do one more. We'll do one more good one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We'll do one more good one. Neve Campbell was initially hesitant to return to the franchise, especially in a new Scream film that didn't feature Wes Craven as director, who would be unable to give Campbell and the new directors his blessing due to his death. What changed her mind was a letter sent to her by Matt Bettinelli Olpin and Tyler Gillette, where they wrote about how much Wes Craven and his films meant to them as filmmakers. Jenesy, Gabrielle.
Yes,
What?
that's me.
Were your thoughts on Scream 2022?
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
love it. It wasn't a great movie. It was as typical for a Scream movie. I feel like in some ways it was more interesting than a typical Scream, than like and than a typical slasher film. There were some ways in which it was more interesting. I loved the cast, not even like thinking legacy cast, but the new people that they brought in. Really, really great cast. Really fun actors. I was kind of surprised because like I knew from the trailers that Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera were in it, obviously.
Yeah,
Melissa
yeah.
Barrera was in In the Heights. She was one of the main
Yes,
characters of
yes,
In the
yes.
Heights, which made my top 3 movies of 2021. So that was really exciting. And it had Dylan Minnette from 13 Reasons Why. It also had I think the other guy was from 13 Reasons Why too, Mason Gooding.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
maybe was he? Because no,
Wait,
now that I'm
no,
looking
no,
at
no, no, no.
now that I'm
He's
looking
not.
at his IMDb, I know exactly where I know him from, and I know why I thought he was in
Booksmart.
that.
Was it
No,
Booksmart?
he
You
was
recognize him
in.
from Booksmart?
I haven't actually watched Booksmart. I need to.
Oh
because
yes, that is a very you movie. I bet you'd love
It's
that.
very me movie. I know. No, he's in Love Victor, the TV series, and he plays a
Okay.
kind of douchey jock in that one. But he's fun. Yeah, that's where I know him from. But anywho, yeah, the cast was very fun. I feel like that they did interact with each other well, and I feel like for a slasher film, for a Scream movie, the relationships between everybody were at least mildly interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, you're right. You're right on the dot. I was very and I'm sure you could hear me moaning and groaning during the fucking movie because this
I talked through the whole movie. I had to do something to keep me interested because it was not interesting.
Yeah, this I don't know. I had hopes. I was really hoping that they would give us something that could just like absolutely nail it. I am a very big horror movie fan. I genuinely enjoy the classic slashers. I do love those things. I think this movie tries entirely too hard to listen. I don't know what the fuck it is with movies lately, but I am already growing so tired of this weird like meta conversation and like self-awareness that some of these movies are trying to have to make themselves feel and sound smarter. I'm over it. This you know how we talked about how the first act of the Matrix, they spend the entire of the Matrix Resurrections, they spend the entire first act talking about how it's a Matrix movie and how this is the return to the Matrix, that they're returning to the Matrix, and like they like this is a Matrix movie, and they created the Matrix all those years ago. That the first act of the Matrix is this entire movie. It's this entire movie. This entire movie is talking about how Scream was one of the most pivotal historical slasher horror movies to ever be created, and they talk about the entire fucking movie. And honestly, like as much as like some people might fucking love that, I am over it. I'm so over these movies like trying to be self-aware to the level where it just comes off as fucking tacky as shit. Because here's the deal. Anytime this movie was not talking about Scream, like in the context of Stab, which is the movie in the movie that is supposed to be Scream.
Title than Scream.
It's like worse. And listen, they've done that, right? They've talked about that in prior movies. There is a level of meta and self-awareness that is acceptable, and they've done it before. What this movie did was it sort of backhandedly made fun of its own fan base while also making fun of itself in all the worst ways absolutely fucking possible. Every time they were not talking about Scream, period, it was actually a good movie. Like, there were some parts in it that were actually good, and it was only ever when they weren't trying to be self-aware. They just so happened to be trying to be self-aware 3/4 of the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like a majority of this movie. Like, why in the fucking world were all the characters in this world, like, for whatever reason, movie buffs?
Right.
Every single character in this movie is a movie buff. Are you fucking kidding me? Like it took away like all of the belief I could possibly have in this story, and they were just like, oh yeah, no, they're all in a Scream movie because we made Scream. Yeah.
Which also, like, there is a way to build those characters that would make sense. It makes sense if you're stuck in a small town and somewhere in California, I'm assuming, that is like the location that these movies are based off of, that were based off of like this weird history of your town. I could totally see becoming a film buff because of that. That would make a lot of sense. It would make sense that you would build a community around that. I grew up not that far from LA. Big movie buff. Makes sense. You know, now I live in Portland and I spend a lot of time going and viewing filming locations here because apparently I didn't get sick of it living near LA. You know, like it makes sense. That is a type of person. It's also a type of person that attracts other types of those people, right? That's why you and I are friends. That's,
right.
Like we started talking because of that. There is a way to set up these backstories, even I believe, even in a horror movie, because I do know that like that's not typically an angle that horror movies take a lot, is like setting up backstories super well, which is probably part of the problem. But you can do it. And I guess I think especially for like this type of slasher film, that is harder to do, because when I think of when that has been done successfully, one of the first things that come to my mind is like Hill House and Bly Manor, which are a totally different like type of horror movie. They are very much horror, but they're also like that almost psychological horror. What did they call it? Scream was talking about this a lot. What was the term that they used?
they were using what was it? It's like elevated horror.
Elevated horror. And I was like, yeah, I did fuck with Bly Manor. I'm not gonna lie.
No, because they are elevated horror, and they do a good job. And that's just like where we are with horror content, right? Because it's like now you can't really get away with just doing cheesy dumb horror because people are gonna call it out. And weirdly enough, they talk about that in this movie by breaking that fourth wall in some weird fucking tacky way. They talk about that in this movie and then do it. And I'm like, you guys are saying that you're aware that people don't want this, and now you're doing it. And you think your fan base wants that. You think critics want that. You think your audience wants that. They want no. I can't listen. I'm not going to shit on this movie a million times over this entire last little bit of our show, because there are some good things in this movie. There's a couple cool things that they do in this movie. They like, oh God, man, I just could not fucking stand that. But here's the deal too, though. The kill scenes were awesome. Anytime that they were focused on actually like doing the horror part of things, it was rad. You mentioned the legacy characters, dope. It's funny because like the reason that this movie concerned me a lot, not outside of the meta shit, outside of the self-awareness bullshit, there was a drastic difference in quality between the legacy actors and the new actors that are in that, like the young kids in this movie. And it was daunting enough that I could feel it, where it's like the main characters of this movie were very just not good. And but besides Jenna Ortega, she killed it. Jenna Ortega did a really, really good job. Like I thought she did great.
I thought so too. Maybe it's just because I think that hold on. Melissa Barrera. I mean maybe it's just because I think she's pretty, but like I liked her.
Yeah, I don't know. Like she like there were a lot of, because listen, you heard me laugh like during a few parts where she was like, I'm sorry, I ran away from home. And I'm like, you've said that 4 times. And
that's not a Melissa Barrera problem. That's a writer problem.
But when there are times that she was crying and I didn't believe she was actually sad, that was her problem. Like
I do have to say, Jenna Ortega, when she was crying in the beginning of the movie, I was like, this is a lot of crying. Like, I get that you're scared, but like also you just like fought a bad guy. Like I feel like there should be a little bit less tears and a little bit more like, you're not in flight mode, you're obviously in fight mode. So like why are we crying so much? That felt a bit.
Now here's what I can say too is like outside of the the very very beginning, like when things ramp up, right? Outside of the very very beginning, she does a very good job of being a horror
She's
character. Like she was
very good.
very good in like her reactions to things, like how she was handling it. She did a superb job. Jack Quaid, the boyfriend Richie, in this movie, yeah,
Yeah.
no, we're
No
not diving
spoilers.
into any
No
information
spoilers. No
whatsoever on any of
information.
these characters. Dylan, who, oh boy, like it's
I
there's Kyle, oh god, but Jack Quaid, I did not realize,
there are a lot of
because
bad
Jack
characters.
Quaid is the main character of The Boys. He's the main character in the show The
Mm,
Boys, and he is phenomenal in
yeah.
that fucking show. He kills it. He kills it in this movie too. He does a very, very good job in this fucking movie. I did not know Jack Quaid was Dennis Quaid's son until watching this movie last night. He is Dennis Quaid's son.
Ah. Who's
Dennis
Dennis
Quaid,
Quaid?
the actor who looks like Walmart,
Oh my god,
Harrison Ford.
that dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son. Like like are you kidding me? Like I didn't realize that he was the son of those two just pivotal
They
actors.
have
No wonder he fucking kills it, because he's the son of two legendary ass actors. Of
they
course
have
he's fucking
three
good.
kids. They have
Yeah.
three kids.
Yeah. I didn't realize who, because the Quaid thing, I didn't pick it up. I didn't pick it
Yeah,
up
never
right
heard
away.
it.
Like, yeah. Yeah. And he did a phenomenal job in this goddamn movie. I also want to make sure that we point out our arguably our probably favorite character in this whole movie, Jasmine Savoy Brown, playing as Mindy. She did phenomenal too. Josh and chat, Walmart Harrison Ford. He is. Dennis Quaid is
Yeah,
totally
Mindy.
Walmart Harrison Ford. He totally fucking is.
Accurate.
Goddamn, he is.
You know
No,
what's funny that you say that? So when I don't know if you heard this, but when I think, oh no, it wasn't him. It was fucking Vince, the other boyfriend. When he came on the scream, Naomi insulting my name, went and said that he should have been played by Austin Abrams, which is the we used to call him the off-brand Timothy Chalamet.
Let me look it
I
up.
love Austin Abrams. He is my favorite person to stan because no one stands him. Nobody stands Austin
Oh,
Abrams because he's in fucking everything, but he always plays like a nobody in everything. He's like the best friend. He's in fucking Euphoria, but you know who he plays in Euphoria? He plays the nice guy that one of
yes,
the
he
main
does.
characters
Yes, he
is
does.
yeah, has a fling with. He was in a movie with Lily Reinhart, so good for him. But she fucking said that he should have played Vince, and I was like, no. I love Austin Abrams. I don't want him to play
No.
some jackass.
I don't think I've ever seen him in a part where he's ever reminisced as the dirty, like, gutter dude.
That's actually not true. I think in This Is Us, he plays a bad dude.
Oh, I haven't seen
think.
This Is Us yet. That's why.
Neither have
Okay,
I, but
yeah,
Naomi
yeah.
told me.
Okay,
Naomi told
okay.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never seen him and been like, oh yeah, you'd make a
No,
good
yeah.
scumbag, like ever.
He's like a slightly less ghostly looking Timothy Chalamet. You know what I mean?
Right. Like Timothy Chalamet's like
He's
goth
like
little brother.
he's like Timothy Chalamet and Cole Sprouse had a baby that's just super sweet and nice.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know, a
no.
little less
I
edgy.
mean, to kind of round things out here, because I think we've kind of gotten to the bottom of things here. Like
Of the barrel.
I
Screen
don't
barrel.
like, this movie does some really really cool things. It does some good horror stuff, but it tries so hard to be smart that it stepped on its own fucking toes the entire time. I just wish, I so badly wish that this movie wasn't trying so hard to be a meta conversation about itself, because it took away from all of the good that this movie does. They do such a good job when they're doing a good job. The highs are very very high and the lows are very very low, and there's way more lows in this than there are highs. It is just super disappointing. Jenesy, I will ask you before we end off here. We're not going to do a post show for everybody because we're running a little bit behind here. But I think on our final note, Jenesy, I don't think we really even need to dive in much deeper, because there's not really much to be said about this movie. Jenesy, out of 10, what are you giving this rating, and should people go see it?
Okay, before I give my rating, I would like everybody to remember all of the very generous ratings that I've given in the past. I am the hoe that is pulling up and I'm like, well, I didn't hate it. I had a good time. So you get a 9. You get a 9. You get a 9. You get an 8. You get a 9. This is a fucking 4. Don't watch it unless you're completely bored and have absolutely nothing better to do with your time. Or if you are really dedicated to Scream, if you're really dedicated to the horror movie like genre,
There you
go for it.
There you go.
Go for it.
Yeah. Should
about
people
you?
see it?
No, that was my answer. No.
No.
Unless you're like really, really into Scream. I think that if you're into horror and if you're into Scream, I don't know. Maybe you'll like it. I don't know. But I wouldn't recommend it. I would not.
Okay.
Just simply no.
Okay.
It's a 0 fucks to give for me, TBH.
Yeah, sure.
I feel
would
like
say- I would say
I
myself,
lost a little bit.
Yeah,
Of myself
yeah,
watching
yeah,
it.
that's
What about
fair.
you?
This movie is going to be a 5 for me. Here's the deal, right? The things that they do that are good are extravagant. Like they do such a good job of touching on classic horror like slashers in the moments that this movie shines the most. It really does carry this movie. The legacy characters are used pretty well. They're used pretty well. Like seeing them come back to sort of like tie up some loose knots is very, very cool. When they are on screen, it's amazing because they're amazing actors. Every single one of them. They've been in the game for a fucking long time. They definitely carry this movie the way they need to. They're just not in the movie enough. And when they are, they're still trying to be fucking like meta as fuck. This movie is a 5 out of 10 from me. It is just insufferable a majority of the fucking time. It is not a slog. It's not a boring movie. It is just I was moaning the entire time. Like, why are you doing this? How many times are you going to fucking talk about this? Yeah, this can be 5 out of 10. You have zero reason to rush out to this movie. Even if you are a Scream fan, even if you are a horror fan, there is zero reason to rush out to this movie at all. You do not need to spend your money seeing this in fucking theaters. I promise you. Wait until it comes out. Watch it there. Okay, just watch it there.
Watch it at home.
Rent it for $3 on Amazon or some shit. You know, like just wait. You don't need to do it.
Get high, chill out.
Yeah, I don't think this movie is like the 2 or 3 out of 10 that I would maybe give some other fucking movies because it's not that bad. But this is not a good movie. It's not a good movie. And that's I think that basically boils it down.
And what I will say also is like I'm not a horror fan. I'm not. I watched some, but very little. And I have watched the original. I want to say I've watched like the first 3 Screams.
Sure.
And I understand why Scream 1 is a classic. I get that.
Yes.
Like it might not be my cup of tea, but I'm definitely not going to be as harsh on that because it's also like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Is it like a stellar, like super well done movie? Am I going to rate it the same way that I would something like Dune or something that was like obviously very well and meticulously made?
Right.
No, but it's a cult classic. It's a good time. And I am going to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show every fucking October. I probably won't watch Scream every fucking October, but like if someone was having a Halloween movie night and was like, we're watching Scream, I'm not going to avoid it.
I also don't think that if they did a reboot or remake of Rocky Horror Picture Show that they would spend the entirety of Rocky Horror Picture Show 2022 talking about how it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show because movies shouldn't fucking do that. They shouldn't do that. I'm so fucking blown away that they thought that was anyways. Guys, that means our official GK rating of Scream 5/Scream 2022 is going to be a 4.5 coming from GK. God damn, I feel less of a man seeing this movie.
That's what the 0 fucks to give rating was made for. This.
God damn.
I lost a little bit of myself watching this movie.
I can't believe it. Anyways, guys, we're gonna go dig into fact check. We were fine. This show looks like we are a-okay. Our schedule for this week, Tuesday, we have another good Kraken podcast. We're gonna be talking the 7 deadly sins of video games. That's gonna be a fun conversation with Devin and Garrick. I'm here for that. Wednesday, we talked about doing Deep Rock Galactic at some point next week, so we're going to do it Wednesday. Deep Rock Galactic multiplayer. That will be me. I'll be Devin. That will be Garrick, and I believe Josh is going to be jumping on that with us. We will see. We will see on that. But that's going to be a fun stream. We're excited for that. Thursday, another live recording Shipwreck show. If you want to be a part of that, you want to jump over to patreon.com/goodkrakenshow. Become a patron. Support us over on there. You get access to watch that show be live recorded. As long as I can figure out. Last week, we were supposed to do that. For whatever reason, it was just not connecting us to our YouTube account. I have no fucking clue why. I gotta get that fucking figured out. That's been pissing me off. On Friday next week, we have Splash Damage. We are playing Rainbow Six Extraction. That is going to be a brand new game coming out the day prior over on Xbox Game Pass. We're going to be showing you guys what that game is like. If you guys are hesitant to download it, we will try to show you guys what the game is about. Come in, hang out with us on next Friday. It's going to be a damn good time. Saturday, another Good Kraken podcast. We're going to be talking about our most anticipated movies of 2022. Oh, I see that face, Jenesy. You trying to crawl up in here? You trying to?
I might crawl up in here.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. Everyone, please let us know what you think of Scream. If you've seen it, if you've not seen it, if you want to see it, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let us know on Twitter at Good Kraken Show. Add us, talk to us about it. We love hearing from you guys. In any case, this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. right here at twitch.tv/GoodKrakenShow. If you enjoyed the show, you can head on over to patreon.com/GoodKrakenShow, where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive post-show content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea. You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. We're not going to do a post show because we are fucking late. We hella late. It was my fault. My alarm clock didn't go off. I'm an absolute fucking disaster. But until next time, my friends, be good to each other.
Bye.